I'm Dr. Kristen R. Bromley. This Guitar 101 series, which is part of my online music academy, is a beginner through intermediate level guitar course similar to the in-person ones I teach at the university. The course progresses from complete beginner through gaining capability in playing songs in various styles and covers playing chords and melodies and reading chord symbols, tablature, and standard music notation. With the Guitar 101 course, we use 3 of the books from my Method Book series: Chords and Harmony Books 1 and 2, Note Reading Books 1 and 2, and Tablature, which are all available for purchase through Amazon and Google Play. Links can be found in the description below or at kristenbromley.com. You are of course welcome to participate in this course with or without the books, but with the books you can play right along with me on all the songs and exercises as intended. Plus, each book comes with exclusive access to additional hours of in-depth video lessons that go with each part of that book. If you find this Guitar 101 series helpful, please like the videos and subscribe to the channel. Alright, let's get to jamming in this week's lesson. Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. I am thrilled to be here helping you learn to play the guitar. So in this lesson, which is lesson 25 of the Guitar 101 series, where we go from beginner to well beyond intermediate in some ways, today in this lesson we'll start off with reviewing some of the finger picking and strumming patterns that we've done in the past, also some of the bar chords. And we will introduce, or I will introduce to you, a new strumming technique. So that's how we're going to start off. Of course, we'll do some tablature and some note reading. In the tablature, we're going to work more on playing in second position. So that's a new thing, reading and playing tablature, music that's written in tablature further up the neck. So we're going to be doing that. In the note reading, we're going to look at the key of D, which has a C sharp and an F sharp, and the rest of the notes natural. So we're going to do a little bit with that. And we'll finish off this lesson looking at alternate tunings and how those work on the guitar. So lots of great things to go over today. Let's go ahead and jump in the chords book. So we're going to start on page 20 and do number 7, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. In the last couple of lessons, we've worked with this strumming pattern with a down, up, slap, down, up, down, up, down, up, slap, down, up, down, up, down, up, slap, down, up, down, up. I've also mentioned how we could turn that first down into a dotted eighth instead of just an eighth, and then delay the up strum because it'll be a 16th. Down, up, slap, down, up, slap, down, up, down, up, down, up, slap, down, up, down, up. And depending on the feel of the song you're playing, you may want to do one versus the other variation. So we're going to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star with this strumming pattern. Now Twinkle Twinkle Little Star specifically gives us lots of opportunity to practice with 2 chords per measure. When we have 2 chords per measure, we're going to switch chords right after the slap. So down, up, slap, switch, up, down, up. Just going back and forth between C and G. Bit, if you're not already. There's another spot in here which would go between D7 and G. And there's places where we go from G to D7. Alright, let's go ahead and do it. Twinkle, twinkle, 1, 2, ready, and twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are, up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how we'll practice that a little bit more over on page 28 with number 1. So Midnight Special. Down, up, slap, down, up, down, up. This one just has 1 chord in each measure, so we won't have the 2 chords to practice with, but we will get to practice with that. Keep warming up with that strumming pattern. A 2, a 1, 2, ready, and well, you wake up in the morning, hear the ding dong ring, go marching to the table, see the same old thing, knife and fork are on the table, nothing in my pan, and if you say a thing about it, you're in trouble with the man. Let the midnight special shine its light on you. Let the midnight special shine its ever-loving light on you. Okay, now we'll go over to page 29. As it says on the board, we're going to do numbers 2 and 3. With these, we're going to practice where we're doing that bass pluck in place of a down strum. So both of these are in 3/4 time. We're going to do this strumming pattern: bass, down, up, bass, down, up, up. So we'll just go ahead and do that. Down in the 1, 2, 3, down in the valley so low. Hang your head over, hear the wind blow, hear the wind blow, dear, hear the wind blow. Hang your head over, hear the wind blow. Okay, same thing on top of Old Smoky. On top of Old. Okay, 1, 2, on top of Old Smoky, all covered with snow. I lost my true love for courting too slow, for courting is pleasure, and parting is grief. But a false-hearted lover is worse than a thief. Ain't that the truth? Okay, so now we're going to go over to page 31 and we'll do number, flipped a little far. We'll do numbers 6 and 7 on page 31. So with this one, we're in 4/4 time. We're going to do bass, down, up, bass, down, up, down, up, down, up, bass, down, up, down, up, down, up. So here you go. 1, 2, she'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain. She'll be coming round the mountain when she comes. Kind of a dramatic ending there. Okay, so then with number 7, let's practice the bass, down, up, bass, down, up, bass, down, up, bass, down, up option. In the next lesson, in lesson 26 in the Guitar 101 series, I'm going to go over alternate bass strumming. So we're going to do that in the next one, but in this one, continue to practice a little bit with just the regular old bass strum. So Tom Dooley. Bass, down, up, bass, down, up. 1, hang down, better find the pitch, hang down. 1, 2, ready, and hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Hang down your head and cry. Hang down your head, Tom Dooley. Oh boy, you're bound to die. I met her on the mountain. Was there I took her life. I met her on the mountain. Stabbed her with my knife. We gotta need the rest of the story on that one, don't we? It's about a famous old case, apparently. Question or legend is, did he do it? Did he not? Well, we won't know, I guess, until the next life. Okay, so we're going to go over to page 33 and do number 11, Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. We're going to switch to the finger picking practice now. So in today's finger picking, we're going to do P, I, M, I, A, I, M, I for the 4/4 time pattern. Up on E minor. Then we're going to do Swing Low, Sweet Chariot. Now when there's 2 chords per measure, we want to just do the first half. P, I, M, I, P, I, M, I. So there's a couple places that happens. There's a measure where that happens on the second line, and then a lot on the third line, and then right there in the second to last measure. So in those places, P, I, M, I, P, I, M, I. Otherwise, P, I, M, I, A, I, M, I. Swing low. Here you go. 1 and 2 and ready and go. And swing low. Sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. I looked over Jordan, and what did I see? Coming forth to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me, coming forth to carry me home. Okay, and we'll flip on over to page 42. Where we're going to do number 5. Okay, so with this one, we're going to use P, I, M, A, M, I. So that's our finger picking pattern today for 3/4 time. 1 and 2 and 3 and P, I, M, A, M, I. So kind of get that warmed up. Then we'll do number 5 on page 42. So 1 and 2 and 3 and... That's fun. Okay, so we're going to go over now to page 91 and work on a new strumming pattern. It's a double time field technique. So what that means is when we're playing music, we're usually playing in sort of regular time, meaning that the strumming is complementing the level of rhythmic values happening in the meter. So if our song includes in the melody mostly quarter notes and eighth notes, and our strumming pattern also includes mainly quarter notes and eighth notes, we're going at sort of the same metric feels. So for example, Jamaica Farewell, down the way where the nights are gay. metric level. Now we could have our strumming pattern go slower. Down the way where the nights are gay and the sun shines daily. Sort of at a halftime feel. Down the way where the nights, it's going slower. Now we can have it go faster, where it feels like, really what it feels like is what we're taking what would happen in 2 measures and shoving it into 1. And if the melody doesn't go twice as fast, so if we went double time, the melody would also go twice as fast. So down the way where the nights are gay and the sun shines daily on a mountaintop. So if we were going there compared to down the way where the nights are gay and the sun shines daily on a mountaintop. You got regular time versus a double time. Double time feel is where we shove something that feels like it's going twice as fast into 1 measure. So down the way where the nights are gay and the sun shines daily on a mountaintop. That's sort of a double time feel thing. The chords and the melody are still going at the normal tempo, but the strumming figure is going at a tempo that feels twice as fast. So a really great double time feel strumming pattern that is used in a lot of songs is down there at the bottom of page 91. This is pattern T. Now there's 2 ways to look at it. Let's first look at it the way it's shown on the right, where it's across 2 measures. So with an E chord here, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, crosses 2, it syncopates in the middle there across that bar line, but it's as simple as that. So really we have our down, down, up, up, down in the middle, and we've got 2 half notes on the front and back of that, which may help. But let's practice this just sort of in pieces. So we got down, down, 1, 2, ready, and down, down. Now we're going to add an extra down. So down, 2, 4, down, 2, now and up. 2, 3, 4, down, 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 up. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now an extra up. 3, 4. 4, 3, 4. I want to add it down, 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 up, down, down, down. Now it's probably easy to add that last down. A 1, 2, ready, and down the way where the nights are gay and the sun shines daily on a mountaintop. I took a trip on a sailing ship, and when I reached Jamaica, I made a stop. But I'm sad to say that I'm on my way, back home, many a day. My heart is down, my head is turning around. I had to leave a little boy in Kingston town. Kind of fun. We'll practice more with that in the next lesson, and even a little bit with the bar chords. So let's go over to page 104 and 105 now, and we'll work on the bar chords. So this is really the last lesson that we're going to practice these together. If you want more work with me, of course, there's the videos that come with the book itself. But in the future lessons, we're going to be working on movable 7th chord shapes and 6th chord shapes. So it's kind of those jazzy chords in place of working on these. But we'll work on them here today. So page 104, we're going to start with number 24. So we start with B flat. So towards the center of the neck, we probably are starting to realize, I hope you're starting to realize, and remember that there's a B flat at the 6th fret on the 6th string. It's going to be a major chord. Then A flat, it's just 2 frets lower, still a major chord. Then E flat, sitting there at the 6th fret on the 5th string. That one should be pretty familiar after all the ones we played last time. We got F7 at the 8th fret on the 5th string, and B flat. Then B flat, or C minor, 8th fret on the 6th string, and we've got A flat, B flat minor, G flat, we've got at the 9th fret on the 5th string, A flat minor. We can go higher or come down lower. I'll probably come down lower because it's setting up that B flat, sort of the resolution there. We're going to go down, up, slap, down, up, down, up, down, up, slap, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, a 1, 2, ready, and B flat. Okay, and then you can stretch if you need to. And we'll go on and do number 25. So with this one, we already know where B flat is. D minor, we have at the 5th fret, 5th string, and then it's our minor shape. We can use the G minor at the 3rd fret, 6th string, or if you wanted to, you could go up to the 10th fret. We got the E flat at that 6th fret. We're already familiar with that. There's a repeat on that line. F and B flat, E flat, A flat, those are all familiar. We've just done them, and we just reviewed D and G minor, F. We have an A at the 5th fret on the 6th string. D, this time major. We can use the G, but most of these otherwise should be pretty familiar. We're going to use the strumming pattern that's written here. We're going to go down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up. When there are 2 chords per bar, we're going to switch on that second up. So down, up, down, up, up, down, up. So we anticipate across that syncopation of that beat 3. Okay, here we go. From the beginning. 1, 2, ready, and B flat. Kind of fun. Now with some of those places doing those 2 chords and that strumming pattern, it might be a little tricky. Of course, you can redo it with me as many times as you want, but I'm going to go ahead and go on to number 26. So number 26, we already know B flat and E flat. We've been playing those. We've already played D minor. We've already played F and C minor and A flat and F7. So we're good to go on the chords. We will want to note that there are some interesting little spots with repeats. So in the first couple of measures, there's a repeat that happens. We play that section 4 times. And then after the first measure of the last line, we hit a repeat again, which is going to take us back to the beginning, where we're going to play that first 2 bars 4 times, and then we're going to come back, and this time with the second to last 2 measures there's a repeat. It says repeat and fade, but we'll just do it a couple times, and I'll sort of call that as we get there. We're going to use the down, 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 up, down, 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 up strumming. Down, 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 up, down, 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 up. Now when there's 2 chords per bar, you gotta switch on that first up strum. Happens just like that. Here you go. 1, 2, ready, and B flat. Now your hands might be burning, so you can go ahead and just stretch and give them a little bit of a break. We're going to do number 27 next. We'll just use that same strumming pattern. This one has this E flat 7 to D flat 7. So we've got a D flat 7 in there and an E flat 7. We go back and forth between those. We go back and forth between F and E flat. There's a B7 that sneaks in between the D flat and the 2 D flats there on the second line. It could be written as a C flat 7, but a lot of times we'll write it as a B7 because that's just easier to find mentally, a little easier to find than C flat. We're not used to C flat so much. Okay, so other than that B sneaking in there, we're familiar with playing all these chords we've played so far today. You can choose on the D flat. Sometimes you may play the one at the 4th fret off the 5th string. Sometimes you may play the one off the 9th fret on the 6th string. It just kind of depends on where you're at and what you decide to do, but they're all totally okay. So down, 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 up, down, 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 up. 1, 2, ready, and... Repeat. now we'll look at number 28. This one has F sharp minor. We've played a lot of F sharp minor down in the 2nd fret. I'm going to start up and use it at the 9th fret. And then C sharp at the 9th fret. So we got those two. E, 5th fret of the 7th fret of the 5th string. B, 7th fret of the 6th string. So we'll be right in that range with this one. Down, down, up, 1, 2, up, 3, up, 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. F sharp minor to C sharp minor to E to B to F sharp minor. F sharp minor to C sharp minor to E to B to F sharp minor. Let's repeat it. F sharp minor to C sharp minor, E, B, F sharp minor. We got the F sharp minor to C sharp minor to E to B to F sharp minor. Okay, so that'll finish us off with those. Now if you need more help with bar chords or want to practice more with me on them, then use the videos that come with the book, and you'll have plenty of opportunity. We're going to go on and do some notes now. Okay, so in the note reading, we're going to start on page 74. We're going to do numbers 1 through 3. So in the last lesson, we worked on the key of G major. G major has G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. With the key of D major now, you'll see up in the example, the key signature there up on the upper left of page 74, we're going to add a C sharp. So C and F are both sharped, the rest of the notes are natural. The relative minor key to D major is B minor. We're just going to work with the D major scale for this time as we're warming up, kind of like we did in the last lesson. So there with number 1, we're going to play through the D major scale, starting on that D string that's the 4th string that's open. We're going to play all the way up to the G note because that's the highest note in first position that we can play that fits in this scale. We could actually go up to an A because we've learned about that A, but we're not really in first position when we've gone up to that A. So we're just going to go to the G. Then we descend down to the lowest note, which will be E. That's the lowest note in first position that's in that scale. And then we'll go back and finish on the D. You can see on the upper right-hand corner, just above number 1, sort of a diagram showing where all the notes are that are part of that scale, which can be helpful visually just to look at that. The diamonds show where those root notes are. So we've got 2. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and do number 1, alternate plucking. If you're using a pick, this is a great time to help develop that technique. If you're not, you can just do all down plucks with your thumb, or alternate thumb and index, or index and middle, or something like that. 1 and 2, and here we go. We've got the D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G. We're going to come back with F sharp, E, D, C sharp, B, A, G, F sharp, E, D, C sharp at the 4th fret, B, A, G, F sharp, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and D. Let's do number 2, 2 plucks per note. 1 and 2 and ready and go and D. number 3, 1 pluck per note. 1 and 2 and ready and go and it's a great one. Let's flip over and do a couple melodies. Let's go to page 76. We're going to do number 7. So it starts on that open D. It comes in on beat 4. I'll give us a 3-beat count in. We'll catch beat 4. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll go over and do number 10 then on page 77. Now, as a reminder, you can work through the videos that actually come with the book and go into detail on each one of these. Practice all of them right along with me if you'd like to. So number 10 has a little syncopation. 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2 and... So 1, 2, here we go. And 4 and 2, 3, 4. 4 and 1, 2. Okay, we'll flip over to page 80 and do number 16, My Grandfather's Clock. Now this one will go up to that high A note, so we're going to watch for that. You'll see there at the bottom right hand corner of the page, there's an example of how you can actually finger this scale from second position. And include that one. It's the same way we were playing through with the tablature last time when we were in second position. We were actually fingering things using that scale. I just didn't mention it. So, My Grandfather's Clock, if you'd like to, you can play the whole thing from second position. Or you can just shift up to that second position when that A comes. So it's surrounded by rest, which is nice, at least on that third line. You got rest 2, and then we can just go into that position, right into second position, rest, and shift up. And then when you come down, you can use that open E to shift back if you'd like to, or you can just stay in that position as we play an A on the 4th line as well. You can stay there till you have a rest or an open string to shift back on. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. 1, we're in cut time, but we're going to treat it like 4/4 as far as counting at the tempo that we'll be playing it at. So I'm going to give us a 3-beat count in, and then we'll catch beat 4 there with the A. 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, rest 2. rest 2. 4, rest 2, rest 2, rest 2. 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, rest 2. Rest 2, rest 2. 3, 4, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, off. Okay, let's do some tablature now. Next, in the next lesson with the notes, we're going to start working with the key of F major and D minor, as you can see on the next page, and using B flat. So be good times. Okay, let's go on and do some tablature. Okay, so in the tablature, we're going to start on page 102 and do number 140. This one was done in the last lesson, so it'll be kind of fun. We'll do it here again, just a little bit faster. So that's a reminder of what it sounds like. With this one, you can do the first 2 lines in first position if you'd like to, but the second 2 lines need to be done in second position because we're using that high A note. So you can do the whole thing in second position if you'd like to, but those second 2 lines need to be in second position, meaning index in the 2nd fret, middle in the 3rd, ring in the 4th, pinky in the 5th. Here you go. 1 E and a 2 E and a. Okay, so you could maybe read those notes. You should be able to read those notes because that's where we are in the note reading book, being able to read all of those notes. Except we haven't worked on 16th notes yet. Let's go over and look at number 141. This one will not use any open strings for the most part. There's a couple places that do just that low E, but we're going to play this entire one in second position. So that means index is going to stay in the 2nd fret, middle is going to stay in that 3rd, ring is going to stay in the 4th, and pinky is going to stay in the 5th. We still work in that fashion. The way this will work, and starting in the next lesson when we start to move up into 3rd position, sometimes songs will go outside of a position. We basically, as we're looking at a song, we find the lowest fret that's used over the first part, and that's where we'll stick our index finger. And then if it goes outside of the frets that are then where our fingers are then placed, so in this case 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, then we have to shift to accommodate another section where 4 frets are used at one time. And so we use shifting. Not going to happen on 141, but it will happen in others. Let's go ahead and play this one. We should be familiar with this melody because we've played it in other places. So 1, 2, ready, and. Okay, so in the next lesson we'll work on third position. Right now though, we're going to flip on over to page 124 and 125, and we're going to do number 171. So there's this final section in the book that has challenge pieces. Some of them are along the neck, some of them are still just in first position. They're just kind of fun pieces to play. This one, number 171, shouldn't be all that tricky compared to a lot of the things that we've been working on. Kind of just swing the rhythm. Most of them are kind of old bluesy or old jazzy melodies that are in public domain, or classical music from that genre, melodies that come from that. So this one's an old jazzy bluesy thing. Here you go. 1, 2, I want to, ready, and rest. 2, 3. Rest. 4, rest. Rest. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. 2, 3. So that's kind of fun. There's lots of these, of course. We won't get into all of them in the course, but you can go through any of these melodies with the videos that come with the book. Okay, let's go back to the chords, and as we finish off this lesson, we'll talk about alternate tunings on the guitar. Okay, so here we are back in the chords. We're going to talk about alternate tunings. So this is lesson 30 in the Chords and Harmony book, goes through this. Basically, anything that's not found in this lesson is usually some sort of slight variation or adaptation of what is in here. So understanding this can help you be able to use alternate tunings. Now, in this particular lesson in the Guitar 101 series, as I usually can't go into great detail. Of course, there is the video that comes with this lesson in the book and goes into greater detail. So you're welcome to visit that lesson to get much greater detail on this. But I'm going to give a little bit of an overview, help explain these alternate tunings, and even practice a little bit on one. So, first of all, page 196 sort of just kind of goes through them and talks a little about changing the tuning on your guitar, but let's go ahead and look at page 197, which goes into drop D tuning. So drop D tuning, this is especially used in fingerstyle playing, but what it does is we take the E string and we drop it down to D. When tuning these, you can just tune to the 4th string, or you can use a handy-dandy tuner. The tuner is really useful. Usually when we start dropping these strings, they want to come back up. They want to climb higher, so it may take a little while to actually get them to stay. When I'm doing a performance and have to change tunings during a given concert and using the same guitar, I know that I'm going to need to talk a little bit and sort of let it adjust, and then hope for the best as I go through most of the time. And a lot of times, if I can, I'll have more than one guitar, and I'll just have one in the other tuning if I'm using it for that concert. So that D's just wanting to sneak back up a little bit. So with that D change like that, and you can go along and ahead and change that too if you want, it's really nice because in the key of D, we get that low D, so now D, A, D, A, and then D, and then an F sharp. So there's this whole D, A, D, A, D. Really spread wide on the octaves. 2.5 really, and then we get the F sharp. So if it was D, A, D, A, D, A, we'd have 3 octaves of just D, A, D, A, which creates a nice resonant sound in those fifths, in that open fifths. You'll note though that works for D7 and D minor and so on. The D chords can all use that low D. But when we have a G chord, we've got to change it up now because we can no longer use that low D. So just wants to keep creeping up. Okay. So when we play that, then we got the G, and we got to change the way we finger G, and we got to change the way we finger a 4-string F. So anything that we play where we would normally have the root in a given spot, it's going to be 2 frets higher, and we have to play it that way and make adjustments. So E minor, then you'll see F sharp minor. They've all got changes, which are all kind of cool. But let's try just playing a little bit there. Up number 2, then you get the G and the D. Just those 4 chords. Oh, 1, 2, ready, and we got D to A to G to D. Let's do it again. Just those 4 chords. F, it's going to change because we got to change our pinky, unless we're just going to play the 4-string F, which we could. E minor though, we got to come up and bring that E 2 frets up when we get there. The A, the B minor, that's going to stay the same, but F sharp minor, we either have to play it on the top 4 strings only, or change where that low root is. And then we got G, A, and D. How about we play through the whole thing, and you can just use the top 4 strings for F and F sharp minor if you'd like to, and then but the E minor needs changed. So down, down, up, down, up. 1, 2, ready, and we've got D. That's a little introduction into drop D tuning with the lesson that comes with the book. You get to practice a little finger picking too, which is nice. Sometimes we run into that when playing solo guitar pieces. So if we turn the page over to page 198, another type of alternate tuning is when we equally lower all the strings. So this works just like a capo, only in reverse. So we can add capos on, it changes the keys. We can drop the strings down and it changes the key. The 2 most common ones for the guitar that they handle well, you could go lower, but not all guitars can handle it. A baritone guitar, it would work for the deeper sounds, but these normal guitars that we have here, our standard guitar, doesn't handle the low pitches quite as well. But with this one, we usually go down and make everything 1/2 step lower. So instead of E, A, D, G, B, and E, we just lower it to E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, and E flat, and it just gives it a little lower sound. Or sometimes we'll go all the way down a whole step. So in that case, you got D, G, C, F, A, and D. And the strings and everything function the same. We can play as if we were in the normal key. Everything's just going to sound a whole step lower or a half step lower depending on what we've done. So I'm not going to go over those, but the chord symbols and everything, the shapes work just the same, only we're in a new key. But you can check that out with the video lessons that come with the book if you'd like to. Let's go over here to these open G tuning. Now I'm not going to demonstrate this one, I'm going to demonstrate the one on the back, but what happens with open G tuning and open D tuning and other open tunings is what it means is that when we change the strings, we're changing them to be an open version of that chord. In the case of the open G tuning, then we're getting everything, it's very banjo-like, the 5-string banjo-like. the open strings are going to ring as a G chord with a D on the bottom of the chord, but it's going to ring as a G chord. So each pitch gets changed. The E gets changed to a D, the A string drops down to a G, and then the D stays the same, the G stays the same, the B stays the same, and then the high string drops down to a D. So kind of fun. That creates an open G tuning, and you can play with each of those. So in dropping these, you can use the tuner to help, is really the best way, and you just want to go gradually. Sometimes releasing the pressure on the strings will cause them to break if they're getting older, and we release it kind of fast. And even if they're getting older, sometimes changing the strings in that way doesn't work so well. So B and G stay the same, D stays the same. This A needs to drop down to a G pitch. So it drops down a whole step. And we end up with the open G tuning, and I just strum the chords and it sounds like a G, particularly a G with the D in the bass. And then what's cool is as you bar along, there's G sharp, A sharp or B flat, B, C or C sharp, C sharp or D flat, D sharp or E flat, and so on up the neck, just by barring it. And we can put the fifth on the bottom. These open tunings are used a lot to play sometimes in different solo styles, and the slap styles use various open tunings. Also, slide guitar uses these open tunings and some of the bluesy stuff. So there is open G. I'm going to flip over and do a little bit with open D together. So on page 200, open D tuning puts a D on the bottom, which we have, and then the A. So I've got to raise mine back up. If you didn't drop it, you don't have to. And of course, just like I've mentioned a few times, the videos that come with the book do go through all those exercises and songs and get you oriented with open G tuning. The G with this one needs to drop to an F sharp. The B needs to drop to an A. And the D needs to drop, or the E needs to drop to a D, which I already had mine at. When using a tuner, you need to use it on the chromatic setting to be able to drop the pitches, or something that allows you to drop it. It may say a half step or a whole step or whatever. By comparison to those pitches, you need to be able to do that. So the guitar is going to be a little out of tune. It's going to adjust. It hasn't been in this tuning. With the open D tuning, which is my personal favorite open tuning, the D's on the bottom, it resonates big, wide intervals, which is one of the values of open tunings. And you can see from the chord symbols there at the bottom of page 200, I strum the open strings, I've got a D chord. So then I've got an E chord, D sharp or E flat. Then I've got an E chord. Then I've got a F sharp or G flat, G sharp or A flat, A sharp or B flat, B, C sharp or D flat, D, and so on. So it's kind of cool. There's other ways to play the voicings in first position as well, and some common voicings or different options are written there on page 200. I've got different arrangements that I've played with in open D. I have a I Know My Redeemer, He Lives arrangement that I really like that's in this tuning. You can check out if you wanted to. But we're going to go over on open D and look at number 8. So number 8 uses the D, G, and A. So there's multiple ways we could play these with using first position or not. But with not, we'll just use the bar. There is a G at the 5th fret. So when we play the G chord, we're going to go just bar over at the 5th fret. And then there's an A at the 7th fret. So we're just going to bar over at the 7th fret. So it'd be like, and the D is going to be open. So down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Just like that. Kind of fun. Here you go. 1, 2, ready, and Now, as I mentioned, it's using slide guitar, sometimes open position solo guitar stuff. Some of the slap candy wrap label type stuff is usually in open tunings or variations. So most of them are going to be in these two, G or D, or a variation of it. So we could have D flat and go down lower. It's rare. More likely we might see E flat, which would be everything one D sharp or E flat, which would be 1 fret higher, for example. You can just get variations of those two open tunings is usually what we end up with. And then we got the drop D, or all the strings being lowered, and then we use capos to raise them. So that's the way we sort of alter the tuning on the guitar and get different sounds. It's great stuff. If you use the video with the lessons that come with this book, it goes into much greater detail on each of those, and you can practice with the different voicings right along with me, finger picking and strumming. And you can, if you're really into this, I'm sure you can find, if you're really into using open tunings or need to play in the style that open tunings are in, if you start learning music in those tunings, you'll start to get more familiar with them as well. Okay, I hope you're having a blast playing the guitar. In the next lesson, in lesson 26, we're going to start working on the jazz voicings that are movable, so major 7th and minor 7th and dominant 7th shapes that move up and are kind of jazzy, which is really fun. We're going to work on some new strumming and finger picking techniques, so we'll continue to build on that. In the tablature, we'll work on 3rd position and learn another sort of fun challenge song from the back. In the note reading, we're going to work on the key of F major or D minor, so it'll have 1 flat. So lots of great things. I'll see you next time. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.